And joining us now in studio, Dr. Eytan Cohen, Yanarocak. Thank you very much, sir. Turkey expert at the Jerusalem Institute for Strategy and Security. And Dr. Before we begin our conversation, let's hear it from the man himself. All masks are off, if you will. Yeah. The wolf ditching the sheep's clothing. Yeah, all cliches apply, and we were, of course, alluding to Turkish President, Recep Tayyip Erdoğan. Let's take a listen to his remarks earlier today.
Hamas is not a terrorist organization, but a group of liberators and mujahideen fighting to protect their land and their citizens. Dear brothers and sisters, of course we had good intentions, but they abused them. We had a project to go to Israel, but it was cancelled. We will not go.
So, Dr. Cohen, Yanarocak, I will ask a question that might sound peculiar, and yet, since Palestinians were crossed with Erdoğan for not being harsh enough, and Israelis crossed with Erdoğan for being full-on anti-Semite, my question to you is this message aimed at Israelis or Palestinians?
I think it's more aimed at the Palestinians because since the beginning of this war, if you also paid attention, Erdoğan remained very silent compared to his previous statements in previous wars. I mean, operations. And therefore, I mean, he waited for a couple of days, even almost 2 weeks. And now he delivered this very harsh speech at the parliament, at the Turkish parliament, to his members of the political party. This is not the whole. Yeah, yeah. This is important. This is this statement was made under the roof of the parliament, but only to his party members. Okay, and but it doesn't mean that it's not important. It's very important. At the end of the day, I see this statement as a huge blow to the current Israeli-Turkish normalization. We, in the past, overcame 2 different Ramadans and 1 limited military operation in the Gaza Strip, but this time, this is something very different. Also, the scale of the Israeli response is very different, and also the this solidarity that the Western world is demonstrating is very different. So, Mr. Erdoğan, even if his country is considered as a part of the West, he is taking a very pro-Palestinian / unfortunately, very pro-Hamas attitude, and this is endangering the bilateral relations. During his speech, he made a very important reference to the guarantee sheep. I would like to, if I may, to decode it. When the Turks are talking about a guarantee ship, they are referring to the Cypriot examples, meaning that in 1960, when the Republic of Cyprus was founded, 3 different countries, Great Britain, Greece, and Turkey, became the guarantors of that particular republic. But unfortunately, later, due to the intercommunal violence in the island, Turkey decided to intervene militarily and launched the 1974 military intervention. Of course, in the eyes of the Greeks, it's an invasion.
Right.
And so the Turks are trying to get this example and want to implement this
sentiment.
Yes, they want to implement the same styles to the current Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which means, let's imagine that today we have a ceasefire, but let's say in 3 years, 5 years, we have another escalation. Then, if we're gonna provide the Turks this guarantee ship, they will be able to intervene in this militarily and politically into the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Even if we are not providing them such a right, the fact that they are mentioning it over, out loud
means that they're feeling
it's very problematic. It is very problematic. This should ring the alarm bells in Jerusalem.
So, if you're reading between the lines, you're suggesting that you get the sentiment from President Erdoğan, not ruling out the prospect of a boots on the ground. We use it in the sense of the Americans.
He mentioned twice the word in case of a need, we will also act militarily. And I really didn't like it. It's that doesn't sound very friendly. But still, in the same speech, in an ambivalent manner, he also mentioned that he wants to host a peace conference.
So in this respect, I would like to, because we're seeing this double game played by Qatar at the moment when it comes to the hostages. On the one hand, sponsoring terror, and on the one hand, trying to release hostages. Will Turkey be interested in playing a double game, so to speak, to use its leverage vis-a-vis Hamas to gain credit points with the Western world and yet maintain its true intentions, perhaps?
Precisely, yes. A very clear example is the Ukrainian conflict. Turkey plays...
the grain deal,
Yeah, the grain deal. They are both capable of speaking with the Ukrainians and both with the Russians, and they are very proud of it. So they will most likely gonna apply the same style of behavior
well, I'm
to
not
the
sure
Israeli...
if Jerusalem will pick up the phone after the speech that we've heard this morning.
I agree with you. It's very problematic, but I assume that this is also very much, related to the deteriorating Turkish economy. $1 is almost like 30 Turkish liras.
Foreign policy always derived from domestic needs.
So he wants to divert the attention of the masses to the Palestinian issue. Another very strange thing that 29th of October, the Turks are going to celebrate the Republic, 100 years. So instead of putting the projector, the spotlight on the 100th years of anniversary, so he prefers to divert the attention to an pan-Islamic
and it's particularly interesting in the context of Erdogan's bid to be to spearhead the Middle East and this underlying perhaps competition, so to speak, between Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, of who will be at the forefront.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Seriously, when we have Egypt here, I do not think that the Israeli government will likely to provide any key role to
anyone else, essentially.
To anyone else, or Egyptians, or maybe the Qataris. But I do not see, after this kind of a speech, I really don't think that the decision makers in Jerusalem will pave his way for such a role.
Well, every single leader here in the Middle East and perhaps around the globe reassessing now its own position, the position they would like to have once this war is over. That's for certain. Dr. Eytan, Cohen, Yanarocak, thank you very much, sir,
thank you for
your time, for your insight. We appreciate it. Thank you.